the Vaishnavas, the devotees, have a personal relationship with Krishna. They love Krishna. And therefore, they're not interested in personal liberation. We have the example of Golavechar Sridhar, Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. When Lord Chaitanya revealed his divinity to him and asks him any blessing, what does Golavechar Sridhar ask? I just want to be your devotee, eternally, life after life. As a matter of fact, please, the only thing I ask is that you come in your youthful pastimes and not you engage in the same type of activities that you're having with me now, in regards to the banana leaves and the story of selling banana leaves. And Golavechar Sridhar would get so angry because Nimai Pandit would harass him and bring down the price and even steal the banana leaves. So for a pure devotee, that type of intimate relationship with Krishna is invaluable. He would never be willing to give it up. Never. Never. Therefore, for a devotee, the idea of why do I have to lose my individuality, lose my relationship with Krishna? Are you crazy? Are you insane? Therefore, we hear the idea of merging into the body light is just hellish. It's hellish. Have you ever been in an impersonal meeting or sangha? Have you? Has anyone? You have, isn't it? I mean, we're among devotees here, so we can speak frankly. It's so boring. Oh my God, it's so boring. Even if you're at a neophyte level, you experience even a drop of Goro Kera Premadana Harinam Sankirtan, the relish of devotional service. When you go to an impersonal meeting, or a meeting of impersonalists, it's just like, I remember there's a famous ashram in North America, and they have branches all over. One they have in Los Angeles, and on Sunday I went to see how they manage their affairs of guests and reception, and how it's all set up externally speaking. Maybe we could learn from other groups in terms of presentation. But I had to sit through the sermon of this American Swami, and I just, after a few minutes, just did like 180 or 105 beats, I just started chanting. And meditate on the one, and we are the drops of water, and God is the ocean, and let us merge into the ocean. You just want to have a relationship with Krishna and chant and dance in Lord Chaitanya Sankirtan movement. And that's why maybe historically you never see Vaishnavas become personalists. Very rarely. Historically you see all kinds of impersonalists become Vaishnavas. But very rarely you see Vaishnavas becoming impersonalists. And again, it comes back to what we were talking about last week. Unfortunately, the impersonalists cannot understand Parambhava Majanandu, the transcendental nature of Krishna's personality. Janma karma chame divyam. Therefore, because they practice detachment from everything, they apply this detachment also to the form of Krishna. It's like last week I mentioned I went to this yoga studio here, organized by Sina Krishna Prabhu. And there were about 10 people there for a chanting session. And it was really sweet, and they loved it. They were chanting, and they're very favorable to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement. But, of course, there's some lingering traces of impersonalism. So this lady showed me an application on her iPhone, which is a puzzle of Krishna, a painting of Krishna, but it's divided into cubes that are placed in different ways, and you just have to move the cube in such a way that you get the picture of Krishna, baby Krishna, with the pot of yogurt on the ground, and taking it and eating it. So while everyone was talking after the chanting, I was kind of captivated. I wanted to see Krishna. So it took me about 10 minutes to make the pot. The thing is, as soon as I got the last cube in position, the software is built in such a way that the picture of Krishna dissolves immediately as soon as you solve the puzzle. It's a puzzle solving thing, right? So you spend so much time meditating on Krishna, basically. You get it solved finally, you get darshan, and boom, the picture dissolves. And it just tells you how many minutes and seconds you got the puzzle. So I was surprised, so I exclaimed, hey, what kind of program is this? You get the picture of Krishna and then it dissolved. And then this nice gentleman there said, oh, but non-attachment. Non-attachment. And then other people in the group also concurred. Non-attachment, non-attachment. Right? Because Krishna is just like anything, right? Just ultimately non-attached. And just imagine the ramification of that. You can't have personal relationships, you can't have friends, you can't have a wife or a husband, you can't have children. Or if you do, they're all illusory. There's no spiritual significance. There's nothing absolute about those relationships. I mean, we understand they're temporary, but still, they're souls, and we're souls, and the service of Krishna is real. So therefore, there is some sort of eternal, absolute relationship there. And therefore, the Vaishnavas are normal, sane human beings. Well, sometimes. But in the impersonal conception, where is there room for any sort of, it's just like, it's a dead end in terms of any relationship. So in a friendly way, I told this gentleman, I said, well, did you know that the gopis of Vrindavan are considered by scholars to be the greatest yogis of, I just said yogis. And there is a particular verse in which one of the gopis complains to Lord Brahma, the engineer of this universe, that he has created forms, including human forms, that are so defective, so imperfect, that they have to blink their eye occasionally for a split second. And that blinking of an eye is a real defect in the engineering of the human form, because during that split of a second, with the blinking of the eye, I cannot see Krishna. I cannot see Krishna. So what do you think about that? And he was like, I didn't know what to say. I didn't push it or anything. I kept it really nice and sweet, but because that's how we understand it. Krishna's form is absolute, and attachment to Krishna is the source of great pleasure, great happiness. Great happiness. Rupa Goswami, we just mentioned, Rupa Goswami revealed to us that he's Rupa Manjari. He's a person in the spiritual world. So he has a direct personal relationship with Krishna, and he knows it. He knows what his Swarup is, and he reveals it. Like that, and so many acharyas reveal, the Gonadesh Dipika tells us exactly who is who in the spiritual world. Bhaktivinoda Thakur told us who he is in the spiritual world. Bhaktisiddhanta. Prabhupada told us, if you knew who I was in the spiritual world, you would faint. I heard that. I'm sure we never heard that. In America, we see that quote all the time from Prabhupada disciples. Anyway, what we do know, Prabhupada, is that, for example, on board of the Jaladuta, he sings a beautiful prayer, and I say unto you emphatically, O brothers, you will obtain your good fortune only when Srimati Radharani is pleased with you. So in that beautiful poem, he speaks personally to Krishna and says, oh my dear friend, in your company I will experience great joy again. In the early morning I will wander about the covered pastures and fields, running and frolicking in the many forests of Braj. I will roll on the ground in spiritual ecstasy. Oh, when will that day be mine? And Prabhupada told us so many times, I was with, well, at least he told Bhavananda Swami Prabhu, I was in the spiritual world, and Krishna told me personally, go down to the material world, and I didn't want to go, and Krishna told me, no, you go, write your books, and I'll take care of everything. Prabhupada told us, when I sit down to write my books, Krishna personally appears next to me and tells me what to write. So those testimonies are there. So what does that mean? That means there's a relationship, a real religious, like, I don't know who Krishna is, but I know who, for example, my father is. His name is Jacques War, and he lives in Paris, and he's 80-something years old. And I know him personally as a person. Now, if someone was to come to me and tell me, well, you know, actually, your father doesn't really exist. Your father's really not a person. My reaction would be, what are you talking about? I know who my father is. I know him.